Hi everyone, this is Jane here from Crystal Sparkles Readings. I'm just here to put down a card for the day and for the weekend for us. So I'm just going to have a shuffle with this black and white Faulkner deck. Let's have a little look and see what we've got going on. Hi there on Periscope, thank you for joining me. Just putting down a card for the day from the Faulkner Tarot. So card we have for today is the Jolly Old Two of Pentacles. Now we've had this quite recently, okay, so I won't dwell on it too much because I will be pulling out another card for the weekend. So I'm just going to pop down this one for now. And the Two of Pentacles asks us to kind of not focus too much on the lack around us, but to kind of keep focused on the positive stuff. The Two of Pentacles talks about sometimes not quite having enough. So it has that energy about lack to it. So we don't want to be focusing too much on that. The Two of Pentacles also talks about needing to get things in balance. So it can be things like balancing your books, balancing your emotions, kind of getting yourself to a place where you're much more focused on what is coming in that is good rather than what is not sort of so good. As you can see, there's the guy there looking at his bank balance thinking, oh bum, that's not so good. So the Two of Pentacles asks you to look at that, get balanced, you know, sort of get things back on track. It's quite an appropriate card for January, and it's not surprising me that we've had it a couple of times because, you know, January is a month where quite often we're all sort of looking at, have we overspent? Have we overeaten? Have we overindulged in whatever we've indulged in? And it asks us to get back into balance. And it's really interesting. I was just having a conversation with somebody else about January being a bit of a meh month, really, because we've had all the fun that we were going to have. We've had loads of fun over December. We've had Christmas. We've had New Year. We've had all those things. And then, bam, we're right back into January. It's cold, it's grey, and we are sort of trying to get back on the wagon, as it were. So it kind of might not have the best energy to it. What I would say to you is, though, to try and pick out the bits and pieces of January that you can like. You know, have a little look outside. Are there any snowdrops poking through the snow? Are you starting to see the very first leaves coming on your plants? Or, you know, what are your pets doing? I quite often look at what my cats do when I'm kind of feeling a bit like, and they just kind of chill out, don't they? They don't really care. They still find their little comfy nook to sort of curl up in, and they just kind of, they're very zen. They just get on with it. So I try and take a leaf out of their book a little bit if I can, have some extra rest, have some extra sleep, get some, you know, just nurture yourself. Hi there, Lisa. Thanks for joining me. I'm just going to pop down another, I've just had the Two of Pentacles. I'm just popping down another tarot card for the weekend. So hopefully it's a nice one. Okay, so here we go. The Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is a really nice card. I always get the Hierophant at kind of weird and wonderful times, and it's not always when you expect to see it. It sort of says to me quite often that to be aware that your spirit guides, your angels, and all those sort of energies are with you. And even though you're starting off January and it feels all a little bit meh, they are with you and they are supporting you. So for the weekend, I would say focus on that, on your spiritual side. I'm trying to get back into a better meditation practice, so I'm going to be focusing on that for a little while if I can this weekend. Not getting too bogged down with just work, just taking a little bit of time to do a little bit of work for me. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. That is so sad. I'm really sorry for your loss. Just be aware that when this card comes up, this Hierophant card is all about that. It's about people that have passed and being around us, and, you know, take a look outside and see what you can see. Often they show us things in really weird and wonderful ways, and they might be a robin, they might be a butterfly, they might be a different bird. My granddad quite often comes through as a robin, sometimes comes through as a kind of blue tip because they were his favourites. My uncle the same, he really liked birds. Quite often I see Labradors with him, because he really likes dogs. So they'll find ways to show you, they'll find ways to show you that they're still around. So, just keep that belief that nobody's really gone. So I will leave that with you for the Hierophant. It's a really lovely card for the weekend, and it is a really beautiful energy. So be in that energy for the weekend and be gentle with yourself and with others. I'm just going to pop down a different oracle card. I'm using a different oracle card deck today. Have been using the energy oracle cards, but these are the messenger oracle, and I've not used these very much recently, or not for a little while, so forgive me if I'm not shuffling them great because they're sticking together a little bit. Let's just see. I've been quite drawn to animal cards lately. I've just bought an animal tarot deck, and I've also got some power animal cards. I'm going to open this and do an unboxing a little bit later on over the weekend, probably, the power animals. So I'm going to unbox those at the weekend and maybe have a little work with those next week. I just feel really drawn to animals. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of animal energy around me at the moment. One of my spirit guides is a horse, one is an owl. So quite often when I'm drawn to the animals, they will be around me, and it's those guides that I kind of connect with better at this sort of time. So interesting. Okay, so the card that I have here, the oracle card that I have, is Stay Strong. Okay, so we've got a selection of cards here that ask us to do that. The Stay Strong card kind of does exactly what it says on the tin. There's not much else I can say about it other than what it says is to go to your center. Sometimes when we feel a bit vulnerable, our energy gets a bit scattered, and we feel a little bit here, there and everywhere. So that can often happen. That often happens in January. You can feel a bit all over the place. So kind of get yourself back to your center. You can see that this beautiful dragon sits kind of right in the center of this card, and he's kind of in there being strong and really having a deep energy. It's very earthy, it's very connected to the earth. It's almost like a Pentacles card. It's very grounded. So do things that ground you. So like I'm saying today about meditation, that can ground you. It can be frustrating. So if you find it frustrating and you're kind of constantly wanting to get on and get on and get on, is the 10 minutes nearly up? I must be done, surely. If that's you, do little ones. Do little 5-minute ones. Push yourself a little bit more when you feel like you're able to. But, don't get yourself frustrated. The whole point of meditation is to get grounded. So if you can only take 5 minutes of it, just do 5 minutes of it. You don't have to... you don't have to sit and go on for an hour to get in touch with your center. The other thing that's really good for it is things like yoga, exercise, gardening, cleaning, anything that gets you grounded. Burn some sage, burn some incense, whatever it takes for you to just come back into yourself. If you've had that energy of being a little bit scattered, I was describing it earlier on to somebody else as feeling a little bit like or you're all sort of messed up, really tied up like a ball of wool that's got all tangled, and you have to slowly kind of unpick it and get it to a point where it's able to be moving more freely rather than getting all knotted up. That's about getting grounded for me. I know that's a little bit of a weird and wonderful way of looking at it, but it's what they show me. It's what they show me that's important, and what they show me is this kind of energy of needing to get grounded and allow yourself to slowly unpick and process the stuff that you need to process. January can be a bit of a month, So be gentle to yourself, be gentle with yourself. Spend a little bit of time in nature if you can, get out and about. If you can't, get yourself some flowers to have in your house, or get a little pot plant or something, just something to bring the outside in. I've just invested in a little indoor water feature, which I'll show you next week once I've unpacked it. I haven't unpacked it yet. That's for me to kind of bring the feeling and the flow of water inside inside my house, because I don't have any water that I can access very easily. I'm not near the sea or anything like that, so I was feeling like the need for it, so I've purchased myself a little water feature. So I'm going to have that running during the day sometimes to kind of help to cleanse that energy. I will leave that all with you for today. I'm aware I've said a lot in a short period of time, so sorry if it's been a little bit quick and overwhelming. Have a little re-listen if I've been a little bit fast for you, and if I have, just send me a little message on my YouTube. Put a comment on there, or my Facebook, or wherever, and I'll try and slow down. It's just that when I'm channeling, and I'm kind of channeling spirit and stuff at the moment, it just comes out very, very quickly. So I kind of want to get you what they're giving me as quickly as I can. So sorry if it's a bit speedy. I sense it might have been. But for now, have a really wonderful weekend. If I get to do that unboxing thing this weekend, I will put it up on my YouTube, but I'll probably do it on Periscope anyway, so you can probably catch me there. I'll leave it with you for now. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.